NVIDIA's up in the pre-market. The company partnering with Uber and Volkswagen in driverless cars. Uber will use NVIDIA's chips for its AI computing system in its fleet of self-driving cars. VW will use the company's Drive 9 platform, which includes features like facial recognition and gesture controls. NVIDIA CEO spoke last night at CES in Las Vegas.
I'm also delighted to announce that Uber, the company that put mobility as a service on the map, has chosen NVIDIA technology, and we're partnering together to create future autonomous self-driving Ubers. Now, we've built PCs, laptops, game consoles, supercomputers, and I can tell you without exception, building a computer for autonomous vehicles is of a level of complexity the world has never known.
Number of customers here for these chips now in the hundreds.
Yeah, 320 car companies. What I think's amazing, Jensen Huang actually is understated. They have a chip, a system on a chip that can do 30 trillion operations per second. It has 9 billion transistors on it, and they are sampling it. It only uses 30 watts of power, and he's trying to get it to be the cost of a regular car. He's talking about trucks too, but this man's a genius. He's a genius. No one seems to ever talk about him. You know, his parents mistakenly sent him to a private school in Kentucky that they didn't realize was not for advanced kids. It was, you know, it was for kids who were troubled. Oregon State, Stanford MBA. This man is different. And
what he's proved prescient in is identifying the areas properly that should be focused on down the road.
Right.
And so this company has been so well positioned. We've talked so often about it, of course, given the incredible performance of the stock price over the last couple of years. But he continues to be in the right place.
Exactly. Now, we know that Brian Krzanich speaks today, and he's affiliated with Waymo.
Yes.
Because of his Israeli purchase. But what a battle this is between Krzanich, Waymo. Waymo's got the best car. And then Volkswagen is the second largest builder of cars. Who would be better to team up with than Uber? This is going to be a battle royal, and I think Jensen is ahead right now, but we will hear Brian. Now, I've spoken to Brian, and Brian is saying, what's the love affair with NVIDIA for me? So I want to see what...
Checking the pre-market out right now, guys. Not too much movement yet. Just one super calm. SPCB, it's up 26%.
Have you been to Waymo car?
No, I've not. I'd like to.
You say to the car,
I'd like to.
Take me to the best pizza parlor. And it takes you.
Based on its SIGOT rating?
Yeah, well, whatever. I mean,
although Domino's tweeted a picture of their own self-driving car this weekend.
They have a banana pepper, no cheese pizza that's to die for.
When we come back, an exclusive with AMD's Lisa Su. That's coming up later this morning on Squawk Alley. That's right. We're going to talk to Nick Woodman of GoPro as well. We'll count down to the Mad Dash and the opening bell in about 8.5 minutes.
Alright, let's check out some stocks here. NVIDIA is up almost $5, 2.3% pre-market's had its up and downs already. And that's a big jump here. It's confirmation of a breakup right here too. On a 100-day chart. Let's see here. No dividend coming up for this stock, for Nvidia. It is an expensive stock. $220 per share.
Walk on the street, it's a mad dash for a Monday as we count down to the opening bell. A little less than 6 minutes to go before we start trading here on Wall Street. Where do you want to go today?
Hey, United Technologies, Goldman upgrades. This is really interesting. 173 price target. David, defense end market accelerating. But the GT, the GT, well, it's the geared turbofan. It's actually GTF, yes. But people regard it as an engine. The geared turbofan, they say it's no longer going to lose money. It's going to be fabulous. This is the engine that is much better than other engines, regarded as being less pollution. And if that's going to be important, the geared turbofan has stymied them in the past.
Well, they've had issues with it.
I think this is the year that Greg has no issues.
Okay, so let's see here.
By seeing a stock that's gone parabolic over the last month.
No, because Otis is doing well. HVAC's doing better than expected. This company is on fire. It's on fire.
Really?
Yeah.
On fire.
Every single division is going to have up numbers. That's extraordinary. But the geared turbofan, the GTF, that's it. That is their big money. Because remember, they sell it, and then they get years of service revenue. He's a competitive guy.
Right. I'm aware of that. Yeah, I'm aware of that. Ain't going to happen. Honeywell also benefit here, too? Or no?
It's a 40-cent movement that we need if we used margin on this account, just for $4. Granted, it's not that much a movement on the graph. It's only to about here. That's kind of the resistance there too. Because of here, here, here of today's chart. From what's happened in the pre-market. Here we're trying to farm like pharmaceuticals. Here's almost 1 million volume of bio pharmaceutical. What kind of news do they have? Enters into definite preferred stock purchase agreement with Redmile Group. Okay, they just enter into an agreement. It's not bad news, but it's not the like moving news yet. It's good volume though. This is a cheap stock, 54 volume. They also are entering into an agreement. The other one was for a lot more. This one's only for 2 million. No news on this one. It's also 0 volume. Here they're saying they just signed a letter of intent. That means nothing. Excuse me.
You're watching CNBC Squawk on the Street, live from the financial capital of the world. The opening bell in just about 60 seconds on this Monday morning. Going to be a busy week as earnings season really kicks off. With Lennar and Delta in the middle of the week.
So here they had a phase 2 success. MTNB. That one may become a good one.
Wow. I mean, a lot of the snap is playing right into the hands of Instagram, where Instagram clearly beats Snap at its own game. Zuckerberg is really, I mean, I don't know, you missed it, David. He wants to fix Facebook.
Went up to $1.80 earlier. It came back down. Not too much volume though. 29,000.
Celebrating its acquisition of C.R. Bard at the NASDAQ. Heritage Financial, a bank holding company based in Washington State, celebrating its 20th listing anniversary. Jim, to your point on Facebook, JPM, best idea, target 230 now.
This is a race. We also, by the way, it's kind of a FANG day. I mean, because we do have a couple of research notes on Amazon raising price targets there because of the great holiday season. And I think that when there's a note about Netflix saying that they had better signups. So, I mean, all of this is playing in the hands of the people who stay in the high growth and the cyclical stocks. Not, by the way, healthcare. We need some, I mean, out of Meg Terrell, she's going to have some healthcare announcements, I'm sure.
Humana did cut their Q4 guide, although backing the full year. Again, a reduction in earnings based on the Jobs Act, the tax cut in Jobs Act.
Well, look, I think when you come in today, it takes your breath away because, you know, Children's Place, which has been one of the great stories, probably the best story in retail. What do? They say they're doing even better than expected.
The video dropped
It was obviously a great Christmas for
a
retail.
bit.
And a lot of it was because of cold weather. A lot of it, I think, was just plain out the consumers doing better than expected.
Well, the consumers it was as strong as they've been in 10, 15 years.
I think so.
Which is why this guidance out of David Buster's today made absolutely no sense. Stock's down 15%.
I mean, I talked positive about David Buster's last week. Obviously wrong. I mean, look at this pushback. You've got stocks that are reacting to Dave & Buster's, not to what Jane Elfers is saying at Children's Place. I think that if retail
It's trying to climb back up now.
Macy's did when it came down, you're getting more of an opportunity. I think that at a certain point, look, people are going to say, I can't keep paying up for the same thing. But I do think that people are anxious for the group to come down so they can start buying retail.
Right. We talked a lot about the tax law this morning already, and of course the expectations that companies will continue to give guidance, either the short-term charges they're taking to allow them to bring the cash back, because remember they're starting to pay those taxes, or the benefits, of course, of having that much lower tax rate at 21%. It does figure into an upgrade today, guys, from MoffettNathanson on Charter. They go to, they say better late than never, and they upgraded to a buy. Price target now $436.
Remember, guys, if you have any questions, let me know. I'll be more than happy to answer them.
Company, of course, after the September sort of guide down, if you want to call it that, Comcast, a lot of these names, as you know, sort of took it on the chin for a bit, and then had a bit of a rebound as the year ended. But
Right now, I'm just waiting for this company to come out of the woods to help make some money.
Cash taxpayer doesn't mean that they won't be over time and that they won't be a beneficiary in that cut of the federal tax rate to 21%. That and a number of other reasons are behind the upgrade. And you can see this benefiting the stock price today, even though Comcast is down.
Well, look, I think that that's a great call because you remember when they downgraded Comcast, that was the top.
Let's watch NVIDIA's volume,
Good firm.
their trades.
Speaking of just research that is not necessarily from a firm, this morning, just so people know it, and this is an area candidly I
Bank
do
of
not know.
America has been struggling.
Peace and Seeking Alpha saying that Seagate's an investor in Ripple. They're talking about it being worth $8 billion, which of course is 2/3 of the Seagate's market cap. We don't know if they own Ripple still, and I don't know whether this is the kind of note that I put credence in.
I don't know what to make of this Ripple and the XRP, the currency that is associated with it, the digital currency. It's very hard to
Isn't
fully
it?
grasp.
I mean, I think that all of us are struggling in the stock
Value of the
business.
of the currency they have at Ripple itself is worth an enormous amount, except it's not really worth
It's not
that
right.
because you can't
It's not
do
worth it
anything
till you
with it.
sell it.
Yeah.
Like, you know, look, cryptocurrency, again, I don't know a lot about cryptocurrency. And you know, accuse me of being honest. But the idea that this one division could be worth X, I don't know. But it is moving Seagate, and I guess that's wrong.
It is, taking it back to levels we saw in the spring. But it's an article about a research piece about the potential ownership that they have.
It's a derivative nature, but I do want people to know why Seagate's flying. I don't necessarily ascribe to the idea, but this is a disk drive company that has been flat on its butt, and it's got this division. I mean, a lot of people don't realize that companies have invested
NVIDIA is trying to
in
break up right now
of cryptocurrency that if we started talking about, we'd all get excited, and I don't want people to be excited.
of what it's done in the open hours anyways.
We are getting some headlines from Reuters this morning and others about the Saudi Aramco IPO process. Inviting various
Okay,
banks
what's
to make some
Delt?
pitches
Why is
in
Delt
the coming
moving?
weeks, including Citi, Goldman, and Deutsche, according to Reuters, among those that are invited. So that
Okay, so
continues to
Delt,
chug along.
Delta Technology announced that the Nasdaq contacted the company in view of the unusual market activity in the company. Ordinary shares company stated its policy is not to comment on unusual market activity or rumors.
Any number of investment banks.
Alright, oh, and this is a paused and resuming stock, so we don't trade it.
For the long-term relationship that will come along with it, for the advisory capacity that it might bring in the future, for the opportunity.
We do not want to trade stocks that pause and resume
Capital-related transactions.
because we don't want to be stuck.
In the world, when it comes public, there doesn't seem to be much doubt about that unless Apple were to somehow.
Nvidia is up 3%.
Well, I'm glad you brought it up because a lot of people are saying, how did oil get above 60? How did that happen? The conspiracy theory is the Saudis have really cut back, and that drove the oil price. The non-conspiracy theory is that there's that the glut in oil has been diminished radically by the fact that
Bank of
the
America's been
budgets for
dropping.
drilling for the big international countries hasn't advanced yet. So the depletion is a little bit, the depletion's great, the supply coming on is not great. I don't know whether the conspiracy Saudi theory has a lot of gravitas, but it's working.
Finally, you mentioned a FANG kind of day.
Yeah.
I think it's record highs for Google, Amazon, and Facebook today. On the Amazon front, we did see Jeff Bezos last night at the Golden Globes, where they, along with Netflix and Hulu, take some of the major awards at the
I'm glad you
expense of
mentioned that.
networks.
You know, because the more they're associated with original,
Your stock's not really moving yet.
the more people stop worrying about what happens if Disney cuts them. If Disney cuts
Nvidia
them off,
jumping up pretty good, but again, still before the 245 mark.
for these companies.
Well, and that's, I mean, there are so many shows on Netflix at this point. Nobody even knows what most of them are. And yet Netflix knows what you're watching. And all it really takes, guys,
Netflix knows I watch Punisher? Oh my God, they're gonna don't let anyone know I watched it.
all it takes is one show that you like, and you're willing to pay your $9.99 a month,
What are
right?
you binging on? You were on vacation. Did you binge?
You know, no, we didn't have any TV actually. It was really,
Was that
it was
because
really
of
nice.
healthcare? Mental health?
Excuse me?
Mental health.
It was a mental health break. Yes.
Staying away from anything involved. Did Janice said something?
No.
Not to make light of it, but honestly, I mean, David's a parent, and I bet you control what your kids watch.
My kids read books on vacation. Actual books. Can you imagine that? Had my
Bank
son
of
read
America
Shoe
is
Dog.
trying to climb back up. The histogram right here is headed back towards the zero. Although the MACD signal online are still downtrending, so that's why we would wait.
On paper,
Again, 45-minute mark is really important.
Sent to me by Jay.
They write novels?
Nice of them, yeah.
Who sent it to
say center.
That's a tale of two cities if I ever heard
There's
one.
not really much movement of like penny stocks at all going on.
Are you stunned?
I'm stunned. I'm speechless.
By the way, on Speechless, I come back after 1 week and Alibaba's already up 10%.
Yeah, because it trades like fine. It's Apple, Amazon, and Alibaba. It turned out to be
XNet.
It's AAA, and I'm not talking about bogus, mutual.
XNet is up
I'm not talking about the
3.3%.
It's so great.
And by the way, I do notice this other name, this GE name is up 6.3%.
Did you read Tusa's note today? JP
I
Morgan?
saw you made a note of it.
Hidden within his they're idiots and fools was a positive mention about the fact
Had
that
an
they're
X
a little
here.
company, and then that the turbine business might be better. Now I know people think it's pronounced turbine, but just like everything else, whether it be GE accounting or how they try to figure out their pension, they don't pronounce it.
2022 is a
But it was
resistance
positive note
Even
hidden.
though it's a target
for
cut to
XNet.
16.
Tucson, a lot of people thought was going to get a 15. People were talking about that he might suggest a 100 million share offering. Tusa is not as negative.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, he
Since
was a bull
it's
in
hard.
bear's clothing.
It is hard to be more negative than he has been, or more right.
That's true. That's absolutely true. Well put.
Thank you. All right, is 6% all GE's going to get this year? Is the question, Jim?
Well, there are some cash flow issues. I mean, the essence of it is just like it's hard to believe that there's an industrial that's down 50%, given the United Technologies,
capital economy.
the steel companies. But you know what?
So Nvidia is doing
GE does things differently.
not too bad,
Best Dow stock so far this
but
GE, but that's
it's up
because
a
as
lot
negative as they
already,
are, they're
which is
down.
great.
It's a real the oil is up so much.
but we would still wait at least 5 more minutes.
Because you know how much the business is oil related. Don't forget about pension. Forget about it.
We could trade it right now, but we're gonna wait to the next candlestick. Struggling on this 5-minute one to go up a little bit more, so
They're a beneficiary of it as they have.
that's why I like to wait to the 45-minute mark.
Your turbofan United Technologies is directly against GE. Just be
GE
aware of that.
engines, right? GE Gen
Be
X,
aware.
yes.
GE with a 6% gain for the year. Dow did set a quick record high before settling into the red. Let's get to Bob
Oh,
Bassano.
look at that. Jumped a little bit. A little red though, right here.
Modestly in the red, about even on the advanced decline lines. Let's take a look at the sectors today. Retail is a little bit better. I think Kohl's is helping them. Overall, we see some of the industrials doing a little bit better, but not greatly so. Banks and semiconductors, which were market leaders, they're in the red right now, as you can see here. I want to remind everyone, despite the slow start here, we're at historic highs and everything is working. And that was my theme last week. It's my theme again this week. So you look at small cap, mid cap, big cap, S&P 500's working, equal weights working, not even just market cap weighting. The FTSE All World, the biggest ETF you can buy that represents everything in the world, that's at a historic high. Cyclicals are at historical highs, like industrial materials. High beta is. Low volatility is lagging a little bit, but not by much here. Now we're starting to get the laggards. The guys listening were mentioning General Electric, but we're seeing energy, which was the big sector.
The histogram is going down right here.
Services, exploration, production.
That's why it's struggling.
Had a pretty good year, but even they're beating the S&P 500 right now. Elsewhere, I mentioned the retailers. Of course, Kohl's had good general sales. Also raised their guidance overall. That's nice. Dillard's, Target, Macy's also up. I think the important thing is the number of companies that are actually raising the guidance.
CNET is up 24%. Oh, it just dropped from that 24%.
Barnes and Noble, though, was worse. It's still positive, but it's a small group. Now, not everybody is set it.
5-minute, good. 5-minute head of buy here.
The XRT, we had a horrible year going into December. It turned out to be a respectable year because people started buying because they heard sales were better than expected. We'll see if it translates to
Bouncing
actual
off
numbers this year. Right now,
the
it's
top
trading
here,
modest.
though.
Now we're going into earnings season. One of the big issues is what's going to happen with buybacks. You all know how important buybacks has been. It's been a little hard to quantify, but here's a little bit of a problem. There may not be enough stock around, and this may be moving the market. So look back at 2006. There was about 307 billion shares in the S&P 500, total amount of shares. By 2010, it had increased dramatically because everyone in the wake of the financial crisis, a lot of people set out or put out new stock, particularly the big financial companies, the big banks. But they started aggressively buying back stock very quickly. So the amount of stock available went down very, very quickly. Now we're back 2017 at 306 billion. That's exactly where we were 12 years ago. But wait a minute, the world's completely different. Demand is higher for stock than there was 12 years ago. The prices have doubled. Look at the price of the average S&P stock in 2006. It was $50. Today, the average S&P is $107. You think that's demand pressure there? I think so. So we keep asking this question: how much does stock?
Okay, with CNET, is there any news on this? Let's see here. Value of cryptocurrencies continue to rise. Announces strategic partnership. It was 4 days ago. So all it's saying is that cryptocurrencies are rising. Let's actually check on Bitcoin price. So Bitcoin price, it actually dropped like 2,000 since like Friday. So I don't know why it's saying it's rising. Bitcoin faces bear move as price drops. Value falls again, so their news is different from this news. So it's always good to keep an eye on everything.
That's not an awful lot. It's far and away the biggest ones. There are other ones out there. iShares has one that's actually called the ESG Select, and that's only got a few $100 million in it. My point is
checking the video again. Oh, it's dropping. It's making the X. CNET. On the histogram, it's going down. XNet. Looks like it may form another X here. Volume is kind of low though. Histogram is going bigger for down to go down. Nvidia's. AMD. AMD is nice.
No real curve implications, still holding tough. 1 week of 10 shows we keep bouncing against that
1205. It's a top.
show that it's deteriorating a little bit. But what's fascinating is where they're deteriorating to and where we're drifting upwards to. All 10-year yields on a closing basis for 2018 have been higher than 240. All Boone yield closes been higher than 242. So as we look at a December 1st start to 10-year, you can see what I'm talking about. The fact that we're crowning above that level is significant. All traders are going to be using the pivot if we should break under 240 and start trading in the 230s. Conversely, if you look at Boone since December, you can see that even though it looks deteriorating to some extent today, maybe we'll get the low yield close for the year. But you can clearly see that it has, like 10s, escalated really since the end of 2017 in terms of the level of those yields. If we switch to foreign exchange, dollar index having a pretty good day, up about
2 cents is profit here. It's breaking up right now.
But if you look at a July start to the dollar index, it gives you the real reading here. 92 seems to be an area that the dollar index is fighting a constant.
So far, AMD looks the most promising to go in.
If you look at what's going on with the euro versus the dollar, it's all about the 120 level, which is kind of like
On the 1 minute, we did have a confirmation. How's the 5 minute? Oh, let's put 5 minute there. 5 minute. 5 minutes doing its break up, but hasn't given us a confirmation. But we did get it on the 1 minute. Let's move this over so we can get ready to do our trade.
Glaring issues, and the U.S. of course has a central bank that seems to be really pulling the other two central banks more in its own direction.
So far, AMD looks like it may be the best. I am going to use margin though on there. So just keep in mind that even though I have the $2,000 account with my margin, I have the margin securities $8,262.76. So I am going to use my margin to go in there. Let's find out when a good time is to go in though, because on the 1 minute, nice. 5 minute, I want to wait though, because the 1205 was a resistance, right? But if, as you can see right here with my line, that's like towards the middle of this candlestick. So we want it to go above the 1205 in the 5 minute candlestick now. So we're going to wait the 50 seconds that is left. And then we want to see how it does. So it's looking good. It's looking really good. The 11 mark is resistance and looks like it may hit that. Sellers just came out of nowhere for a second. There we go, buyers. Sellers are keeping them down. Okay, we got 5 seconds. Starting up here, great. And I'm gonna go, let's see here, I'm getting ready to buy in, but I saw a little struggle for a second. Let's see here. Ooh, the histogram right here is kind of going down though a little bit. Stochastic is going down a little bit, so we may be able to get a better price if we hold on for a second. Oh, wait. Heavy sellers of one seller right there. Let's give it a second because it is a little bit red. NYSC. Why is this one going up so much? There is no news on this stock that I can find besides 5 days ago.
Bitcoin's down today, approximately 10% on the various exchanges that we follow. Some news this morning, regulators inspecting local banks, this time it's South Korea, that offer Bitcoin. It seems like every country has a day where they have headlines about regulators inspecting it. And
I think the regulators are also at a loss about what to do because the whole process is about not being regulated. Unfortunately, the lack of
AMD went down a little bit, that's why I'm okay to watch this.
it is almost like I never will.
It is trying to climb up.
It is the more liked it is.
Not bad volume at all.
I'm trying to find experts. I really am. Experts who are not, let's say, who are neutral on things. Because when I read my Twitter file, I talk about this.
Let's actually put this one, NYSC.
Everyone who talks about it obviously has a lot to gain from it. There's not a lot of people who just come out and say, here's the pros and cons. So I'm a little overwhelmed by this. I don't, cryptocurrency.
Trying to climb. How's the 5 minute? Not too bad. It's trying to climb with this. It's the daily.
Look at this. I know how to get, music.
Okay, so it has been climbing. That was a big gap right here.
while you're talking, guys, GoPro has resumed trade on that warning for the quarter. And those
It's actually NYSC. Put the on the 5 minute here. It's hitting the X right here. Hasn't formed it yet. Well, it's trying to form it though, and it's trying to do a breakup right here, right now, on both the 1 minute and 5 minute. It didn't do the breakup, but it's trying right now still. There's the breakup. Whoa, that jumped pretty high actually for a second. So on this kind of a penny stock, like it has the X right here. So you definitely want to get ready to get in and get out really fast on this kind of a stock. Again, there's no news on here, so it is a dangerous trade. So you definitely want to be careful. So just remember, get ready to get in and out with this type of a stock. It is dropping, so this is why we wait. There we go. Now it's trying to climb back up. See, right here, that 75 was our resistance. That was our top of the day before it broke up right here. And it couldn't hold it, so it went back down. Excuse me, sorry. So since we didn't get a candlestick that started above it, that's why we wait. We may get one in about 30 seconds, but we definitely wanted to wait for it. It's starting right at 75 now. 77, 76, 75. So it's breaking up again here. So let's see if we can get on the 5-minute a confirmation of it too, though. In about 3 seconds. Get ready, guys. Low red. A4. It's a little red right now. Stochastic is down a little bit. So we're waiting. There's that drop again.
Time for Jim and stop trading.
Look, I know that it's cliched at this point to talk FANG, but Alibaba, I wanted to point out we talked about that, trades with FANG. I'll tell you an interesting Alphabet, there's nothing really positive out. If anything, NVIDIA is negative for Alphabet because NVIDIA does not team with Waymo. Doesn't seem to matter. Netflix boost once again. And what I'm saying is that this group, Apple, obviously hobbled, I think, by the China comment, which is interesting. You take a position and you are negative one. But just be aware that the group, I think, needs to pull back because it's been ETF.
It is consolidating and it's down a little bit. So we just wait. That 75, that, ooh, it just broke down below. Alright, let's see if we can. AMD though is trying to climb back up again. Where it goes past it.
People's attention to this is fabulous, okay? Anything. I just want people to know that it's not like Tim Cook is out there saying, you know what, we got to get these in the hands of underage. And the reason I put that is, doesn't McDonald's in their commercials want to put it in underage?
Yeah, but you can't dismiss this as an increasing issue that we're going to be dealing with.
It's a really important issue
overall as a society. And by the way, it extends to video games.
Histogram is so low, and it looks like we may form the X.
I mean, they're one of the weaker people, and Google Samsung sells more phones worldwide. It's just, I think it's wrong that they're targeted, but if it raises awareness, I'm totally in favor.
Sure. What's on Mad tonight, Jim?
Okay, we have Exact Sciences, which is the colon cancer drug, and they have some great.
Okay, so on this one, let's say 280. We'll just say that, put in the chart. And 725 shares. It's not using any margin. Let's say it goes up only 2 pennies. That's $4. From 277 to 282, that's 26.
When we return, Eli Lilly's Dave Ricks on from JP Morgan's healthcare conference.
76,
with the Dow down 27.
75. So 5 cents is I do not know why it crashed on me like 4 times. So hopefully that won't happen again.
Good Monday morning. Welcome back to Squawk on the Street. I'm Carl Quintanilla with David Faber, Michelle Crucial.
Okay, so it's trying to jump back up right now. Like I said before, it's in a consolidation period right now. So it's trying to break out of that.
For some high-profile Dow names on a busy week for earnings.
And it's jumping.
Our roadmap begins with shares of GoPro getting slammed after issuing some weak guidance, announcing plans to cut its workforce by 20%. We're going to talk exclusively with the company's CEO, Nick Woodman.
And addicted to Apple, two major investors urging that tech giant to take action against iPhone addiction amongst kids. We're going to tell you why.
And NVIDIA making a big bet on driverless cars. The chip maker teaming up with Uber and VW. We've got the details.
NVIDIA dropped.
After hitting record highs in the first week of the year, will 2018 continue the record run we saw in 17? Brian Jacobson is Wells Fargo multi-asset strategist. Peter Borish is Quad Capital's chief strategist. Guys, happy Monday. Good to see you both.
Good to see you.
It sounds like you've been paying attention to some of these names that are trading well above their, say, 200-day moving averages.
Absolutely. You know, markets and trading is a discipline type of business. And if you're so far above your 200-day moving average and you've had a lot of success, perhaps it's time to take a little bit off the table. I think the hardest thing in the world for people to do is to take some gains. Everybody wants to buy the dip, but you have to rebalance your portfolio on both sides. Doesn't mean that...
There you go. Should be better now with the stream.
Does it mean you miss out on whatever euphoric gains you might get in the late stages of a bull?
We all mark our personal portfolio to the top tick, and sometimes we regret the fact that we get out. But discipline is survival in this business. We always say discipline before vision.
Brian, it sounds like Peter is advocating discipline right now because of the gains that we've seen. Would you do the same thing here?
Well, what we were thinking as far as going into the end of the year was that people would be sort of waiting until the turn of the calendar to maybe take a few profits.
All right, let's watch AMD again because
clarity there, and you do typically
this
get
one
a little
is
bit of rebalancing at the beginning of the year. But for the most part, you know, our clients want to take the longer view as far as investing over 3 to 30-year investment horizons. And so over that horizon, we're still
here
very
it's trying to make
constructive on,
the form up on the stochastic.
really fundamentally what
Me
we're
making
looking
X
to look at
here,
what are some of
which is
those
good.
macro
Let's actually
drivers
put that
you wanna
back.
get exposure to, and then what are the assets that you want to be in to get that type of exposure. So when you think about, you know, the growth outlook, a lot of people are still stuck in the secular stagnation mindset, thinking that yes, tax reform is going to bring a little bit of a growth boost, but it might be more of a pop as opposed to a permanent change in the trajectory. And so we actually think that while you might see some short-term selling here or there, you know, stuff just happens. But generally speaking, we're still
80,
constructive on
83,
credit, and then also
82.
equity exposure over the longer term.
So stick with the market here, basically. Do everything the same that you did last year?
So it's looking good. Looks like it may form the X. Stochastic is kind of high though.
I think that's where a lot of the disagreement is whether or not the growth boost
Yeah, but I
that you
want
get.
to know what you think. Is the market expensive here or not? Do you add to equities or don't you?
Oh, we have been adding to equities. We're still overweight equities with client portfolios. We think that it's still a good environment. If you're looking at some of the valuation metrics that suggest that the market is overvalued, you know, I think last time I was on, I suggested that that type of basis, you went from maybe nosebleed levels to eye water.
83 is a
So if
resistance.
you actually do get move out of this 2 to 2.5% GDP growth range into something closer.
It's gonna
to
break, it looks like.
2.5 to 3, maybe
Right now.
some quarters 3.5% range. Suddenly valuations look a little bit more
Breaking.
neutral.
So in
And
5 seconds,
valuations
it's
are
the next
merely,
5-minute candlestick.
kind of a longer term guide, and so to the other guest points as far as, you know, the discipline.
Could be actually really good for
If
us.
you're using valuation, that's more what's your vision for the
That's actually really
future.
nice.
But the discipline is you do want to make sure that you're not getting
Can it be green?
overweight,
It is green.
to
Okay.
certain areas of the market.
To the degree you're being disciplined, in what areas are you? And do you disagree with the notion that we're headed for maybe a sea change?
90s. Let's see if we can get in.
The story. My
It's actually really good right here. 88. Let's see, 89. 90. Okay, if you do go in on this one, remember what I said before. Make sure you get in and out fast. Make sure you have a stop loss if you can't get out fast enough. So what I would do is I would get see here at my second one that you see here. I'm doing 720 shares. So I'm gonna do a trailing stop of 5 cents. Let's say it'd be $46. So it could potentially go up really nicely because it's trying to do that right now.
Are you trying to price in the probability of an 87 like
710. 705.
Price that in. It's just a question of discipline. I look at GoPro today. Big moves happen from oversold conditions. Trying to pick tops when you're
haven't gone in yet. I'm about to though. It looks like.
When it starts to go down, and if the technical indicators are there, combined with the fundamentals, then we'll take action. Right now, the fundamentals may be stretched,
but it's not formed DX yet, so it's trying to form it right now. So it's jumping.
14 months in a row without a down month. Records are making
we got an X.
But as I like to say, you go broke trying to bet against records being
okay,
broken.
it's formed the X.
Betting that they will be broken because you can't time it. It's a tough business.
301, 302. Started up here, but it's going down, so I'm holding off for a second. 298. 92. 93. Oh. Jumping all over the place, it feels like. It's a little red. 8 seconds till the next 5-minute candlestick. There we go, next candlestick starting. Right there. 299. Okay. 675. I think I'm going to do 675 instead because it is. A little red. It's not really moving far, so I'm holding off still.
To take action against growing smartphone addiction in children. Josh Lipton joins us now with more on that story. Josh.
That 90 is a support. Maybe we'll wait for the next 5-minute one, see what it does.
The shareholders sent a letter to Apple saying, as one of the most innovative companies in the history of technology, Apple can play a defining role in signaling to the industry that pays special attention
hitting at 90, 87, 88. So it broke down out of that support.
offering parents more choices and tools to help them ensure that young consumers are using Apple's products in what they call an optimal manner. They say, citing research, that U.S. teenagers who spend 3 hours a day or more on electronic devices are 35% more likely, and those who spend 5 hours or more are 71% more likely to have a risk factor for suicide than those who spend less than 1 hour. The shareholders want Apple to convene a panel of experts to study the issue.
15 seconds.
To conduct more research and offer parents new tools and options. Bottom line, they say there's a growing unease about whether some people, specifically kids, are getting too much of a good thing when it comes to iPhones. An important point to remember here, though, Apple does already offer parents ways in which they can restrict the apps, the content.
So it's kind of like supporting right there. It did make the X down, but it's struggling to go down on the 1 minute anyways. With the X up, X down. So we're waiting because that may actually, if this curves any more down, we may see it drop pretty good.
Michelle's shaking her head, Josh. What?
Apple's supposed to be a
Okay, so
parent
it's not curving it.
This was
I mean, give me a break. How many conversations are we going to have about video games, about television? I wasn't around for the invention of radio, but maybe there were concerns about that too. Why don't you kids go outside and play? I mean,
Right.
give
Now, I
me a
think
break.
CalSTRS and Jana would say, listen, our letter is specifically saying we want you to give options to parents to allow them to better police the usage, as opposed to you being the parent, Apple.
How about you being really stern and saying, I'm going to look at everything on your phone? I mean,
It's an interesting area.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the inverse of the ad campaign they now have going regarding the watch, where they show all these athletes and people who've changed their lives for the better.
Okay, so it's trying to break up right here, right now.
In the end, they're just a big target. They're a big company, big target. Just the way
308
McDonald's has been for
is
years.
that top.
And as I said earlier, Carl, I think we'll see if there is momentum behind this particular area of investing now.
So here it's trying to make the X to go back up.
Hasn't really been something of focus here, in part because you do wonder about, can you pick stocks that both maximize the value that you're trying to create for your, as a fiduciary, whether you're a pension fund or whether you're a hedge fund, or not, and do you go down that road anyway if you can raise the
And
money
that's
against it? Jana certainly
good.
seems
This
to
one's
think
a good
there's an
one
opportunity here.
so far.
call me a cynic. You really think Jana's super concerned about
That's
children's phone addiction? I just don't believe it.
many hedge funds that are proved successful have proved successful in not necessarily being great stock pickers, but in meeting unmet needs in the marketplace, moving their businesses to meet those needs, and therefore raising assets against them, because that's the way you really make money.
Okay, so here it goes. It's trying now.
Marketing is a very important part of the hedge fund business.
It's jumping. This is good.
Tomorrow on the halftime report, don't miss.
I'm doing
Jennifer
670
Managing
instead.
partner Barry Rosenstein. He's going to join Scott Wapner to talk about that letter that was sent to Apple over the weekend, and I'm sure he'll try to counter the cynicism.
That's tomorrow. In the meantime, when we come back, the CEO
7.
David Ricks is going to join us from the largest
Can we get the X to form? And can we get a confirmation of its breakup? 308 has to start. 1 minute shows that confirmation. Okay, I don't know the margin requirement for this one, but I may go over like $10. Here it formed an X. It's trying to get bigger on the histogram. Let's wait 1 second before we go. It did its breakup and it has a small confirmation, but then it's struggling too, so it's a little red. 5 minute hasn't given us that confirmation yet of this one, so it's 87% up for the day, so we just have to be careful. Okay, 1 minute. Building a support. Okay, 40 seconds to the next 5 minute one starts. And we're definitely waiting. Five minutes, okay. And it's trying to break up here. It's trying to break up here. That's good. Let's see if we can get in. 21. Okay, so I can't do the margin on this one, so 650, 645. Okay, let's just do 600 because it's not letting me do it.
The 36th annual JP Morgan Healthcare Conference kicking off this morning.
28.
Our Meg Terrell is right there in San Francisco, and she joins us now with a special guest. Meg.
Hey, David. Joining us now is the CEO of Eli Lilly, Dave Ricks. Dave, thanks for being here.
Great to be here with you.
So this is really the week that sets the stage for the rest of the year in healthcare investing. And of course, it was at this conference last year that President-elect Donald Trump said that the industry is getting away with murder when it comes to its drug prices. How has the year been for your industry, and what are you looking at for the year ahead?
Well, it certainly was a busy year in the industry. I think looking back, the one thing we'd have to say was a tremendous year for innovation.
Kind of chasing it at this point, but
I think Scott Gottlieb's spoken about the record number of innovative and generic approvals. So medicines are getting to the market for patients to solve their problems. I think that is what we have to step back and reflect on. It's a great time for science in the sector. And for Lilly as
it's
well,
kind of slowing down at the movement at 350. There we go. Let's jump up.
So the science is there. What we need to do is work on a system where people can afford medications and we can reach all the patients who need these medications.
Well, how do you look at that situation really with drug
Okay,
prices?
almost bought it
and the
too
language
high.
coming from the administration, but not a whole lot of
49,
action. Are you
48,
expecting to see some more government
47,
action on prices this year?
it's a little red,
Yes, I mean, I think
46,
everyone needs to be
45,
acting
30,
on
25,
issue of affordability
24.
for patients at the counter. That's, I think, the fundamental problem. And there was some action, in particular at the FDA. So Gottlieb came in, he said, I'm going to
24.
He did. And I think we didn't have a Turing or EpiPen situation last year, and that's a good thing for the industry. Those aren't our businesses, but we can paint it with that same brush. What didn't happen was very much change on the affordability of the pharmaceutical.
Alright, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to buy, and let's see if I can get in at the, hold on,
Total spending on medications is pretty low. The growth rate is, I saw a study recently, 1.3% in 2016 growth. That's
march
much lower
back
than
up.
inflation. So the
See if I can get in at,
and we have to do something about that. And individual manufacturers can do something about that. We offered a program last year where people could get 40% discount on their insulin at the pharmacy counter if they didn't have insurance or had a high deductible copay. But we need health plans.
okay, that's
and
actually
plans to step up and make changes.
not the best that it started right there.
Ricks, thanks so much for joining us. While we're
At
talking
least
about
it's
government
green,
action,
so that's
we're talking
good.
about the tax cut that just went through. What's the impact on Eli Lilly? We heard from Visa this morning they're going to increase 401k matching.
29,
And
it's
Visa
dropping,
prevents
so we're waiting for a
inversions, which is happening
second.
a lot within the drug industry.
Well, I do think it would prevent inversions. We were never interested in that, but we're worried about
Maybe it'll drop all the way back down to
foreign
310
competitors who had better tax environments than we did.
or like
That's now addressed.
315.
I think
It may not
it's
though,
the most important thing that
but it is struggling. It may form its X.
Eli Lilly, 140
back down.
based in Indianapolis, can roll up our sleeves and compete on a global basis with a strong corporate tax rate. It will allow us also to invest without thinking about the tax rate so much, but rather put plants and labs where it makes the most sense, where the talent is and where the markets we're serving are. So overall, it was, I think, a successful package from a pharmaceutical.
We got about 40 seconds to the next 5-minute candlestick starts.
Capital or how we think about financing the company, but I think it does level the global playing field, and that's a good thing.
Well, I also want to ask you, of course, about Alex Azar, who was an Eli Lilly executive. He's now the Trump nominee for Secretary of Health and Human Services. Expected to have a confirmation hearing, I believe, this week. What can you tell us about him, having worked with him at Lilly?
Well, yeah, Alex worked for us for a decade or so. He worked for me for quite some time. I mean, he's a talented guy and had a very successful career at the company. Of course, he also had a very successful career at HHS prior to coming to Lilly. So I'm as a private citizen, I would say he's very well qualified.
5 seconds.
He gets stuff done. He's smart. Of course, there's all kinds of different views across the political spectrum. But I think
starting up here. 5 minute looks good.
in their health needs.
1 minute looks decent actually.
See what happens tomorrow in the hearing.
So let's actually try to buy at 47. No, wait.
Strong healthcare system.
Dropped 45.
Some of the criticisms he's received, of course, have been
No,
about the price of
42.
at
41.
We have seen those increase a lot over the last few decades.
Maybe we'll get in at the
What can
40.
we do to make sure that patients can afford their drugs, that there's nobody going without? You hear these just
41.
terrible stories of patients really running into huge health problems because they can't afford their insulin.
Yeah, well, we're deeply concerned about that.
38, 35.
We have taken list price
Maybe
increases
we'll
on
get in
insulin
at a
to
better
address
deal.
the
It is a little
cost of
red.
medications, but the net price of insulin is
33,
basically the same as in 2009.
31,
So what's happening? List
30,
prices are going up, rebates
2.
are expanding dramatically. Payers, the biggest customers, are getting a better and better deal, including state Medicaid, which pays almost nothing for insulin right now. And people have to pay
Okay,
out of
so
pocket or have high deductible
my
plans.
stop loss where I would get out,
One way we're addressing
my game
this
plan
program
is if it
last
drops below, like I'm still
year,
not
a
in,
discount at the point of
but
sale. So
if I were to go in
alleviating
now,
that's part of that growth.
I have to cut my loss
Programs like that, we're interested in
if
partnerships
it
with
goes
payers to
below like the
pass through
30 so
rebates,
far,
in our own health plans
because
for my
that's
employees, we're
kind of a
passing
lot of
through
money.
rebates, in a high deductible setup so that the rebates that are negotiated get to the patient. I think that's a basic issue.
37.
We have a program out there now, so anyone who's feeling like they're being pinched at the pharmacy counter.
It's up 104%.
Another, of course, national issue for the drug industry and for everyone, really, from a public health standpoint, of course, is the opioid
Looks
crisis.
like it may be bouncing off the sarcastic, which is great. Because last time it did that same thing right here, we saw it bounce up all that amount.
How the industry has responded to the opioid
So
crisis, and can it
that's
do
good.
Well, I think we've responded well. We can do more. Lilly's not in. We don't make opioids, but we are working on
Maybe
the next
not
generation
here.
of
It's
these
kind of
advisors
close
that will,
right here.
there's a non-opioid
36.
alleviate the need to use those medications. And we know that a huge percentage of patients who have an inpatient procedure are prescribed
Green
opioids.
right here,
It's some
but
fixed number, 1 in 50
technically it's still on
people become addicted. So
downtrend from the
interrupting
top.
opioid use is key. Tanezumab, the program you're talking
So
about,
we're
provides
waiting.
really one
Looks like it
option.
may form the
We
X
also have
here
some
on the
new
1
life-saving
minute.
medications coming. And believe it
There
or
we
not,
go,
we can
30.
help
That's why
migrate patients
we wait.
to
28.
there's no evidence for effectiveness, and why would we subject people to that? So new innovation can be a key part of arresting this cycle. We also need to do other things on the public health side. So
Okay, this one's kind of all over the place.
limit on all opioids, and I think education's a key piece as well. We need to educate the public and physicians that there are other alternatives. In many cases, opioids don't even work very well.
So I think I may actually not trade this one after all, because it's looks like it's breaking down. We got about a half hour left of that we're gonna trade, so I think I'm gonna go back to AMD. 5 minutes, kind of flatlining a little bit. 1 minute, it's going not too bad.
But what I would say is we would welcome competition in the supply chain. The pharmaceutical supply chain is very concentrated. Sometimes that reduces choice and perhaps shifts value in a way that's not in the best interest of more R&D dollars and a lower patient cost. So competition could help that, and we certainly welcome competition in the supply chain.
All right, Dave, we'll leave it there. Thank you so much.
Take care.
All right, Carl, we're going to send it back to you. And of course, coming up on Squawk Alley soon is our interview with GSK CEO Emma Walmsley. Back over to you guys.
Good stuff, Meg. As we're watching biotech have its worst day here since October, we want to get to HQ as well. Dominic Chu taking a look at cryptocurrency Ripple today. Hey, Dom.
All right, so Carl, what we have is Ripple right now, the second biggest cryptocurrency out there by market cap, dropping by about 30% in just the past 24 hours. According to our quotes on CNBC.com right now, Ripple currently trading at $2.32 per token. That's a 15% drop over the last close, if you want to call it that. But we are also watching what's happening with Bitcoin, with Ether, with Litecoin. There's red arrows across the board generally across
This one's
cryptocurrencies.
the outer penny stock is jumping up again, I guess.
Same kind of price action in Bitcoin futures, both on the CBOE and the CME as well.
Had the X right here to sell, but it may form the X back up.
If anybody out there has interest in what these prices
I guess we're going right back.
volumes associated with them, just go to cnbc.com/cryptocurrency. We've got a dashboard showing all those prices in one spot. Carl, back over to you.
Yeah, there are reports online, Dom, that the Chinese government has ordered a, quote, orderly exit from Bitcoin mining, unconfirmed by us, obviously, but it's on all the Bitcoin sites, so I wouldn't be surprised if that's...
No, it's dropping more. If it drops below the 26, it could have a really good breakdown. So like technically we could buy it around the 26 and then have a stop loss at about 23. So we would have a 3-cent drop if it did that. And then we would risk 3 cents movement compared to we could make, you know, about 10, 20 cents.
All right, Dom, thanks for that. Dominic Chu. When we come back, stocks continuing their record run, but will this be the greatest of all time? I'll look at where you could put your money if you're banking on.
What would have happened if you got in earlier? What could have you made? So it depends where I would have gone in. Like if I would have gone in kind of when we were watching it earlier, about the 290, and let's do, yeah, I was watching with like 725 shares at that point, and let's say we got in, I got out at 331 with $2,100. That would have been $287 win right there for the MYSE. Yes. So let's see here. Right now it's at, let's say, 331, 575. If it drops to, let's say, 325, $44 loss, 324, I would have a $50 loss. But if it goes up to, let's say, 343 again, then I would have a $59 win. Looks like he may actually hit that again for a second. Okay, it's 330. 2. 31. So this one is kind of just a line. This line that I'm drawing right now is, it's kind of like a support for a little while. See right here, it's become support. I really should have bought it back here. We would have had a good movement up.
Welcome back to Squawk on the Street. Stocks coming off their best start to the year since 06. This morning, the Dow and the Nasdaq hit some new record highs, but reversed. The Dow's now down nearly 50 points.
Yeah, that would have been a huge quarter. Yes, it would have.
Look at where investors are betting on continued calm and strong markets. Mike, good morning.
31. We may still walk away with profit. Maybe. 30. Because no other stocks that I'm watching on both my screens, nothing really is moving besides this penny stock right now. 32. There's a little downtrend right here.
And there's a kind of built-in structural reason why one will go down over time and one will perhaps go up over time. But coming into this year, the big question was, can we expect volatility to pick up from historically low levels? Even if it doesn't get to be an ugly market, will volatility pick up? And I think right now, the way investors are set up is they're sort of more leaning on the direction of...
It's kind of struggling right here, though.
If you look at the asset levels in each of these, when these
instruments first came out, everyone assumed people would bet on the VIX going up as a hedge to their stock portfolios. As it happens, there's more assets in the fund that bets on a low VIX than a high VIX. So I think it's an interesting trade going into this year. One thing I'm watching is even if the market stays strong, if it has a little more energy to it, if it starts to go up in bigger bites and jumps, which we didn't see last year, you could see the volatility index go up even if the market's not on the decline. And that would be a little more of a kind of a late cycle type market that gets a little bit jumpy before a turn.
I thank you for that. A lot to digest this morning regarding various cross currents. In the meantime, let's get to Sue Herrera for a news update this morning. Hey, Sue.
Good morning, Carl. Good morning, everybody. Here's what's happening at this hour. New York City fire officials say a fire in Trump Tower's heating and air conditioning system caused smoke to billow from the roof, and 2 people were injured. The fire started at about 7 a.m. this morning at the building that contains President Trump's home and business offices. Syrian activists and a war monitoring group say at least 25 people have been killed.
32-30. Oh, we're gonna see this drop right now. 27.
No group so far has claimed responsibility for the bombing. The U.S. Navy has joined the search for 32 crew members missing from an Iranian oil tanker that caught fire after colliding with a bulk freighter off
No,
China's
I went
East
right back
Coast
up.
over the weekend. None of the missing crew has been found. No word on what caused that collision. And it might be bitter cold in large parts of the U.S., but there is a dangerous heat wave in Australia. The temperature in Sydney hitting a high of 117 degrees on Sunday, just 1 degree shy of the record set way back in 1939.
It is, the histogram is struggling, and it's like making it go bigger down below the 0. So 26. Oh, it broke down. 26 was that support. So you can look at that breakdown. So we can't trade this one no more. AMD, it's making an X here. AMD. It's making an X to go back up right here. AMD on the 5-minute though is making the X to go down on the 5-minute. What about the 100-day chart? It's kind of hidden behind there, huh? On the 100-day chart it is going up though. NYSE went below $3 now. Kind of curious if we should short sell NYSE. We can only short sell this if they have shares available, so that's kind of the risky part, but looks like it's trying to climb up a little bit again, so not the best yet for short selling. It's not technically on the chart. It says downtrending, MACD up.
On a new round of announced job cuts, restructuring plans, weak Q4 guidance. Company's market cap falls below $1 billion. We're going to send it out to Josh Lipton out west with the CEO of GoPro, Nick Woodman. Hey, Josh.
Thanks, Carl, and Nick. Thank you for joining us this morning. We appreciate it. So a tough report this morning. You see that stock is obviously nosediving. Investors reacting. Big restructuring. You're having significant layoffs. Whole business lines are getting killed off. You're getting out of the drone business. A miss on that all-important holiday quarter. Walk me through, Nick, just what went wrong here.
Well, let's start with what went right. The launch of our Hero 6 Black camera, our new flagship, went extremely well and as planned. And Hero 6 Black
AMD's dropping, so I think we may actually short sell this. If it can go, if it can go below the 1192, and we'll short sell this.
As we shared on our earnings call back in November, Hero 5 Black was soft in terms of sell-through.
1190 would be a better short sell, but
We had planned for it would lift sell-through, but it didn't. And as a result, we missed the fourth quarter because that Hero 5 Black is a very important product for us. But all of our data indicated that a price drop of $100 on both Hero 5 Black and Hero 5 Session would have significant impact on sell-through, and that's what we've seen happen. Since lowering the price $100 on both those products, we've seen more than a 2 times sell-through lift on Hero 5 Black and 3 times sell-through lift on Hero 5 Session. So what this proves is there's significant demand for GoPro at the right price.
So when you talk about that Hero 6, that's the new flagship camera, that was introduced in late September. So you already had to knock $100 off that new flagship device, right?
Well, we just lowered the price on Hero 6 Black yesterday on Sunday to align with our $199, $299, $399 pricing strategy. But Hero 6 Black was already selling very strong at its original $499 pricing, but given the other price moves,
alright, let's look at the risk-reward ratio here.
But that flagship was succeeding at $499.
Actually,
Let me ask you, Nick, a big part of this release is significant layoffs at this company. Because you guys came in, you had about 1,200 employees. Now you're going to have fewer than 1,000. When we spoke in April, I asked you at that point, was that the end of the layoffs? And you said, listen, that is the expected the end of the layoffs. But here we are.
4 cents is a $36 loss.
Well, as you noted at the beginning of the interview, we shuttered our drone business. Karma was successful in its category. It was the #2 selling drone and the $1,000.
4 cents profit,
But as we looked forward,
a $17 profit.
the regulatory environment for drones, when we considered the amount of investment in the category relative to the profit margins that are possible in that category, we determined that it just wasn't going to continue to be a sound business investment for us. The majority of our customers, more than 4 million a year.
Okay, I'm kind of waiting till the 5-minute chart because I want to see what the next one does. Because it is trying to do a support at the 98.
So we're investing accordingly, and that resulted in some job cuts.
Michelle, I think you had a question for Nick.
Gordon, for joining us. Should GoPro be a standalone company? Would it help if you had a bigger company that helped you with marketing and distribution instead of relying on just one product? Have you thought about it?
And it's consolidating right here.
Think about going private so you don't have to deal with the public markets?
It's a very good point, and I think what's very strong at GoPro is we have an incredible
Heavy sellers though.
We have
Heavy sellers.
build a terrific product. We're always best in class in each category that we enter. If there are opportunities for us to scale awareness of GoPro globally by being a part of a bigger company, that's something that we would entertain. But of course, we need to run the business as though we're going to be independent, and we're planning accordingly, and we're looking forward to benefiting from the improved sell-through we're seeing on all of our products at their new pricing, and we're looking forward to profitability in the second half of 2018. But if there's opportunities for us to
Still heavy sellers.
a bigger parent company to scale GoPro,
No, this one's
bigger, that is
green.
something that we would look at.
I want to ask you to go back to the drone real quickly. I'm sorry, go ahead, Michelle.
I was just going to ask, do you regret going public when you see how punishing the markets have been?
Okay, here's a little breakdown.
No, I don't regret going public at all.
We're about 20 seconds to the next 5-minute candlestick.
As a public company, we are rewarded or punished, as you say, for our execution as a business. As a consumer product
10
company,
seconds.
We're doing extremely well, as I mentioned, with the strength of our brand and the strength of our products. As a public company,
Lots of short selling. I mean, lots of sellers right now.
success into profitability, and that's what we're focused on.
Bigger down. Okay, so we're gonna hit short.
Because otherwise, we'd have far less visibility globally.
Let's see if we can use a margin now.
That business is going away.
Nope, not yet.
And you mentioned some of the reasons for that. You said, listen, there's just a lot of competition. There's regulatory risk here and overseas. But
Nope.
those risks were well known, right, Nick? I mean, why were you blindsided by those exactly?
We weren't blindsided, but the world
Maybe because
has
it's my
changed
trade.
since we began our drone business. GoPro has
It's probably because of the margin requirement.
that there's more opportunity for us to focus on our cameras, our app, and our subscription business. That's where
So if you guys are wondering about like the margin requirement that I'm talking about, let me show you. Because it's hitting a support, so I can hold off for a second.
It does feel like the story kind of shifts. You know, when I first started covering you guys, it was we have a camera and it can't be disrupted by smartphones, right? You used to hold up a smartphone and say, you know, you can't attach this to a surfboard. And now the narrative is
Alright, so this is margin. So what you do here, so AMD, E-Trade's my broker. So I can see AMD to short. I have to have in my account $5 per share that I want to do. So
now the phone is the computer in your pocket, and now people use a GoPro to capture and share their live.
$5, 450 times 5, 2250. I don't have that in this account. So if I do 5 times 4, whoops, 2,000, I could do 400. But then I have to check here, is that even worth it? Yeah, it's still not too bad. 4-cent movement up is $6 profit, which is not much, right? But hopefully we'll get more than 4 cents. 4-cent loss is $25. So hopefully, we make profit. That's why we're waiting for a breakdown.
Well, we have new data that helps us understand we have more.
As you can see, the 400 right here, it did work. So my math was right.
We understand that our customers demand either a significant upgrade from year to year on our models, or they demand a price reduction in our older technology. And we achieved the significant upgrade aspect of our value proposition to consumers with Hero 6
96 is a small support, not too big, but small. There it is. Instagram in the 1 minute is trying to come back up. Oh, broke down there. Great.
But once you recognize you have a significant number of repeat customers in the
A little push back up.
second year of a product's life cycle, many of your customers either own that product or they're waiting for a price reduction, and we didn't provide that to them.
All right, Nick, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Carl, I'll send it back to you guys.
Josh, we appreciate you bringing that to us. Our Josh Lipton out west. When we come back, NVIDIA striking this big deal on driverless cars. We got details on that. Take a look at shares of Snap today, by the way. Downgraded for the second time in a week, this time by Jefferies to hold from buy, saying fundamental execution needs to be shown before they can be more positive on the name. Shares down almost 6%.
There's the 96. Heavy buyers at the 95. Heavy sellers though at the 97. We got about 15 minutes left. Hopefully we get it traded. Otherwise we'll start looking at the dividends. Oh, so there was news on AMD 5 minutes ago that Intel and AMD are teaming up to slow NVIDIA's gain. So that's good news for AMD and Intel. Not the best news for NVIDIA. Yeah, they're dropped. Look at all those sellers. Okay, let's go back to AMD. Breaking down there, great. That's what I like to see. I really want to see confirmation of a breakdown below the 90. So we got about 3 more cents to go before we short sell that down. Even though they had good news, they are, you know, breaking down.
Stocks all around the world have been surging, so where is the best place to put
92.
Now, America, someplace else? Find out at tradingnation.cnbc.com. More Squawk on the Street coming up.
Heavy buyers though for a second there. Still heavy buyers. Heavy buyers still. That's a big sell right there. 13,000, 20,000 sell, 4,000 sell. Buyers are still really heavy though. The demand is high. And this month's been kind of off because usually I'm like done by 8 o'clock, and lately I haven't been in.
The world's largest consumer electronics show, CES,
That's
is
okay.
underway in Las Vegas. NVIDIA kicked it off with a big partnership announcement in driverless cars. John Ford is in San Francisco with details. Morning,
20. There's a big sellers right here. 20,000 sold again. But the sellers are being bought out though. Almost bought out. 24,000 sold there. Yeah, they're being bought out. There we go. 15,000. Sellers came right back in again.
I'm also delighted to announce that Uber, the company that put mobility as a service on the map, has chosen NVIDIA technology, and we're partnered together to create future autonomous self-driving Ubers. Now, we've built PCs, laptops, game consoles, supercomputers, and I can tell you without exception, building a computer for autonomous vehicles is of a level of complexity the world has never known.
Qualcomm also announced new big format gaming displays, affectionately called DFGDs, and the beta launch of their cloud-based game streaming service. Speaking of chips, be sure to stick around. Squawk Alley is going to
Okay, sellers are taking over again. See if we can get that breakdown below the 92. And then we only got 2 more cents. And that's not even a big support, so technically I could do it.
Thank you, John Ford, CES. On a day when Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies are falling, Venezuela's leader, Nicolas Maduro, over the weekend ordered the creation of 100 million units of a new cryptocurrency called the Petro. He says it will be backed by the country's oil production. Michelle has been digging into this. It combines 2 of your areas of coverage, of course, in a very interesting way, Venezuela and crypto. What is he trying to do here?
Well, so this started out with how will this work, and now the story is most people think
Sellers are being bought out.
A lot of blockchain and crypto experts
Looks like it may form an exo to go back up.
Venezuela is trying to do is actually going to materialize. So let's show you the video. Here is Venezuela's President Nicolas Maduro late on Friday making the announcement of the creation of 100 million new digital currency units, which will be backed by oil from field number 1 of the Ayacucho oil block in the Orinoco region. Key reason experts are skeptical is lack of rule of law in Venezuela. Ultimately, to have trust in a unit of exchange backed by an asset, regardless of whether it's real or crypto, you gotta believe
Here we may see a form up actually. There's a break up. Here's trying to form an X.
How
to try to go back up. Here it's kind of curving a little bit.
What's your legal recourse? There's an enormous amount of counterparty risk. Experts are also
And that's kind of where the support is, so we may actually buy it to go up soon instead of short selling, because it's hitting it. See this line right here that I drew? It's going right through the candlestick that's busy right now. So right on the next one could be the one that forms the X in about 8 seconds.
And guys, if you think CNBC covers cryptocurrencies a lot, we have nothing on Venezuelan state television. It is a constant topic on their news show. There have been several hour-long specials dedicated to explaining it. Various ministers go on TV to advance it. The head
Here
of the project
it starts on the opposite
weekly on
side.
this talk show where he shows off the mining machines. This is the guy, and the guy on the left is in charge of the project, and there they are showing off all the mining machines that they've brought in.
I'm gonna buy at 11.95 so far. I'm holding off on this place trade though for a second. So I'm watching it right now at 11.95. So getting ready to buy because of the 1 minute form in the X, starting on this side right here. If it goes below the 92, then I sell. So I only have like a 3-cent loss compared to what I could have as profit. Hitting a 95, trying to buy in right now because it's trying to climb up. May have to, yeah, I'm switching it. I'm going to set it to 97. See if I can try to get in at that point.
Nasdaq holding on to a small gain. Back in a minute.
Trying to get in at 98, possibly. No, I need to wait. See if I can put it back to 96, because we may see a little bounce back down, because that 96 is a support. Okay, and I hit the change button so I can change it real quick. Stochastic saying it may go down for a second, so that's why I have it still at the 96. $260,000 shares were just sold at 96.15. So I'm actually canceling my order, so that way it's not live anymore. Another 10,000 was sold, so 260,000 shares. 11.9615 is $3.1 million that someone got out with. Trading with that much money at one trade. Here's kind of struggling. This is not a big resistance, small one. 11.98. It may actually still go up, so I may still buy it at the 11.98. Nope. Sellers are taking over again. We got about 5 minutes.
Welcome back to Squawk on the Street. I'm Dominic Chu. Stocks are falling to start the trading week. Healthcare stocks are in focus this week as the JP Morgan Health healthcare conference kicks off. It's the most important week of the year for biotech investors, but the healthcare sector is still the worst performer in the S&P 500 so far today. Watch a number of these biotech names into the downside. You have Biogen, Humana, Regeneron, all down by 2% in early trading. Some big stocks to watch, guys. Back over to you, Carl.
All right, Don, thank you very much. Hollywood's Golden Night getting a lot of buzz this morning. Our Julia Borston joins us with some headlines from the Golden Globes last night. Hey, Julia.
Hi, Carl. Well, women and issues of sexual harassment and discrimination were in the spotlight, both in the female-oriented films and TV series that won, and across the speeches and host Seth Meyers.
All right, so today it's been kind of off. Like it said in the news, it's been kind of struggling. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna look for some dividend stocks. So let's see here for dividend. We got the calendar up. We're going to be looking at January 9th ex-dividend date. If you do not have this calendar, that's fine. Something that you can do is go to this website. It's for dividends. You can see the dividends. So here you'll see January 9th. So there you go. I'll put the link into the stream chat. That's another good website. It's really good for dividends if you're looking for like specific dates. And so we're going to be looking at the 9th. Alright, so for the 9th, start from the bottom. Verizon, VZ. VZ. Verizon's down for today. It is on a downtrend.
Julia, thanks so much for that. Our Julia Borston in Los Angeles. When we come back, AMD's Lisa Su's going to join us. You do not want to miss what she has to say about chips and security flaws. Squawk out.
AMD looks like it's about to be in the news. Okay, so let's see here. And this one, they pay out 59 cents a share. 59 cents. 52.33. Okay, we'll do 150. We'll do margin on this. Usually I don't like margin on trades, but this is more of an expensive stock, so we're just kind of viewing it. It would pay out $88.50. It is kind of right here. Right about here is the support from right here, and right here. So Verizon, what is their margin requirement? Oops. All right. VZ 30%. Okay, so 30% of it we need to have in cash. Okay, so this one is not a bad one since we're only gonna be in there overnight, where it's not that bad. Let's check out the next one. This one paying out 0. This one, Connecticut LT Power and Company. It's a power company. CNPWM. No volume. What was the Verizon one? I didn't check the volume. Volume's pretty good. Okay. Okay, next one. This one has dots. We don't like those. Let's check out Ori Nope, it's an NA, so they're not disclosing how much they're gonna pay, so I don't want to do that. Darden Restaurants, never heard of it, but let's check it out. DR.
Good morning. It is 8 a.m. at Apple headquarters in Cupertino, California. It's 11 a.m.
What's DR,
on Wall
right?
Street, and Squawk
DRI.
Live.
Foreman X maybe soon. It is a more expensive stock. How come I've never heard of this restaurant and it's so expensive? 63 cents. Verizon is 59 cents and it's half the price, so I like Verizon better. Let's see here.
Good Monday morning. Welcome to Squawk
General
Live.
Mills,
Mike
GIS.
D'Antoni, Morgan Brennan's here at Post 9 of the New York Stock Exchange. John Fort in San Francisco. In just a minute, he's going to bring us a CNBC exclusive with AMD's Lisa Su. You cannot miss that. In the meantime, though,
49 cents, about the same price as Verizon.
Control roughly $2 billion in combined stock, urging the iPhone maker to tackle smartphone addiction and overuse by children. They write in an open letter that potential long-term consequences of new technologies need to be factored in at the outset.
It's kind of on its downtrend today.
That responsibility. Joining us at Post 9 this morning, Elevation Partners.
Volume is not bad. Still Verizon has the better payout.
What an interesting turn.
ETH.
Roger, what responsibility does Apple have for how my kids might use a phone?
Quite obviously, they have a lot. I think
half the price, but like 1/3 of the price of payout. AMD just went up to 1202. This is good right here, and it looks like you may form an X to buy up. Keep an eye on it, even though it's past 9 o'clock. Okay, ETH, don't really like it too much. Even though I can do more volume with that. Well, shares, 2860.
If they would take my phone call, I would ask them that very question. Because with the hedge fund, they don't, it's hard to see in their background.
ETH is also a 30% margin, so that's good. And how much were they paying out? 19 cents.
California State Teacher Retirement System. They have, I think, a very direct reason to be interested in this. They represent school teachers throughout the state. Children are their business, and so I would hope that they're going to.
So $52. So Verizon has the higher payout so far.
I don't think Apple is the most guilty like that.
Scott, let's take it back to how liable do you think Apple should be for an issue like this?
I don't like the Pyro one here again. Okay, AT&T. So this should be interesting. Okay, AT&T, they're paying out 49 cents a share at $38.06. 49 to 50.
All right, so mother of all, I think you've used that before, the mother of all hall passes. What needs to change?
That's $102 dividend payout. Volume is good. Let's see here, AT&T. They're not going to pay it out until the 1st though. Verizon pays it out on the 1st as well. Okay, so far AT&T is winning this fight. Legal. Wait, why is this one paying out $2 a share? DTRL? Oh, no volume. Never mind. TD, I know this bank. It's a Toronto bank. It's been on a nice uptrend.
the sight of an iPhone box?
I would think the answer to that is definitively yes, and it has to start.
So then we may get 60 cents. We may get the dividend and the trade on this one.
And I think too few of us have been conscious of the dark side to this point. And the reason
It is more expensive than AT&T.
about this is precisely on these issues. So I agree with the professor. I think we're way past the time when
It's about $75.
It's empowering the government of Myanmar to, to have a genocide, right? I mean, they use Facebook in order to manage the population so that genocide is acceptable. I mean, Facebook didn't do that, but it happened on their platform, and at some level, they have to help stop that kind of stuff.
$75. This one's not too bad actually. So right now it's between TD and AT&T. And SARO. Nope.
Smartphones are changing advertising, but that when it comes to social media, the advertisers are the true customers, the users of the product. So
Don't like that one.
actual engagement on smartphone devices,
It's only 10 cents on this one. WGO. Nope.
That's where you need to start.
But
that the reality is Apple has begun to make moves to try to
no volume.
manage our lives online, ending autoplay.
New York Times. They only do 4 cents. NYT. They better be dirt cheap. Nope. We're not doing that. Bad volume, bad price, bad payout. Wayne. Nope. WGL. It's a holdings company. WGL.
And the problem is we as users have not been able to see anything. Everything is behind a curtain. It's like the Wizard of Oz.
Mr. Zim, I did actually not trade, do a day trade today, because it was kind of all over the place and the stocks were going down in general, besides that one stock that you suggested earlier today. And that one, as soon as that one had a breakdown, we exited out of it. So I did not trade that WGL. But right now we're just looking for a dividend trade, which we got 2 really good potential ones. Time Warner, TWX.
First off, I think Roger's fighting a good fight. I don't believe it's going to come out. I think regulation is coming, but I don't think it's going to come out.
No real volume. We had volume right here today. People sold it like crazy.
Isn't getting a lot of the upside of the economic wealth creation of these companies. And most likely, it's going to
TWX, how much are they paying out? 40 cents. Nah, it's too expensive. We're not doing that one. We're not doing that one. OGE.
We've had Apple waive, basically say no to an FBI court order.
Okay. No volume on that one really. Nope. No. Well, NSAR. P. No, we're not doing that. IDC. C. No good volume there.
Facebook algorithms try to figure out your bias and then move you further and further towards that bias. Look at the right rail of your YouTube view, and you're going to see pretty quickly that you're either a progressive or conservative.
Citigroup Global Markets Holdings. Okay, MLPE.
So there's some very big issues here.
MLPE.
We're back to talking
Nope.
about the value of human curation of any kind.
Exactly. And we are all
Nope,
stuck in
nope.
these bubbles. And I would just say,
BRC.
if people want to read this essay that I wrote, it's at WashingtonMonthly.com.
Nope, no volume.
And this matters enormously because
Okay, the Campbell.
2 billion members of Facebook.
Campbell CPB.
So the number of people affected by
CPB.
this is so large that
Not really good volume. Nope, we're not doing that.
Are you still invested in Facebook?
I am. I want to be their friend. I want
Oracle,
to sit
ORCL.
down with Mark and Cheryl and say, hey guys, you need to act like Johnson & Johnson did after the Tylenol crisis.
They had a good movement today,
but we're going to man up and take responsibility for it, and we're going to do the right thing.
Not bad volume. But what's their price that they're paying out? 19 cents? No, it's too low. Okay, INTU.
Made that overture and response.
I'm making it right now on air here on CNBC.
INTU had an X right here to buy on the 100-day chart. How much are they paying out? 39 cents. Nah, it's too expensive for only 39 cents. UDR. UDR. Okay. This one. Not the worst volume, but not the best. UDR. Only 31 cents. No, we don't want to do that. AT&T paid more. It was cheap. It was cheap as well. Bowl America. LNC. Let's see here. LNC. Not too bad volume, but only paying out 29 cents. So we are looking at TD, AT&T, and that's the only two that we're really looking at because AT&T was better than the Verizon one. So let's relook at these TD and T. Alright, AT&T, technically it's on its downtrend, but it's $38.08.
I will note, though, that if you look at some of the all-time highs today, the majority of them are industrial stocks.
49 cents payout.
Yeah, some renewed interest in those industrials, but one of the things that you and I were discussing when we sat down on set was the fact that this has been largely considered sort of the most hated bull market, that there's this sort of sentiment or idea out there that the general public has not been participating in. But you said that maybe that's not the case.
It's not quite
Okay, movement's not really that much.
And outburst of greed in the public, excitement about stocks. But if you look at the exposures that the public has to equities, very high. In fact, you have to go back to 99 and 2000.
So this one was about a $98 one. Okay, so would the volume really matter much since you buy so little shares right now? It actually does, Mr. Zims, because you want to make sure that you get in and out, right? So the in part at the end of the market isn't the hard part. It's the getting out part tomorrow morning. That would be the hard part because you want someone to buy your shares. So that is really important. So if there's only like every couple minutes like a few thousand shares that have been traded, you don't want to be in for those couple minutes at a time and hope that yours gets sold. Even if it's like 150, 200 shares. Plus you want a stock that's, you know, kind of moving a little bit, so you try to get some kind of movement. Not very much. You don't want much movement at all. Like the worst case scenario that you want is you know, you break even or you get out just a little bit right below, so that way you still walk away with some profit after your dividend. But the goal is you want the stock to move up at least, or get out same price. So right now, AT&T, $98. That's a good payout. And then you got TD, which TD, it's on its uptrend. It's more expensive, not as much volume, but still get enough volume. It pays 60 cents. When does TD pay out? And they pay out on the 31st rather than the 1st. So they'll pay it out here instead. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna check the margin requirements. So both of them have the exact same margin requirements. So we're fine there. Alright, so now it's, do we want to try to have it climb up, or do we want to just walk away with more for the dividend? How's it moving today? It's kind of staying in the same area besides right here. Looks like maybe come a buy. It's only down 5 cents today. Okay, and we said this one was more. Okay, so T.
217. But first, let's talk security, because it's been a big story. It's been moving AMD stock up. It's been moving Intel stock down. How much of an impact have you seen and do you expect from this controversy over security problems with high-performance chips?
Market and close. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go for the higher dividend payout for AT&T rather than hope for the movement. So what I'm gonna do is 210 shares. I'm gonna set it on the market on close. So it will buy AT&T stock for me right as the market closes. So that way I can sell it first thing tomorrow morning. So I'm just doing as many shares as I can with my margin. So with the margin, the only thing is the interest, because I'm using margin, is going to be you know, a couple percent of what I use. So it will be about like $7 to $10 per day that it will charge me. So getting a higher dividend payout would be better for using the margin. So that's what I'm gonna do. And 210 shares, and I'm gonna hit buy. So there's my order. So it is gonna buy as soon as the market closes today. So I'm all set for today, and again, I will, if I wake up early enough, I'll start the live stream a little bit earlier tomorrow, so that way if I do need to sell it in the pre-market, then you guys will see me sell it in the pre-market. There's not much movement at all happens in the pre-market, so maybe we'll get lucky and get out then, but we will see. But yeah, other than that, oh, and then also for those who have subscribed on the actual websites on knkstrategies.com, when you guys may have signed up, we had it on test mode, so your subscriptions may have been only put as a test. So we just switched it so you're able to really subscribe to it for when we go live on the website with the live streaming rather than on the YouTube. That should happen as early as the 15th, but we will see. We're just having some things that we're running into that we're just trying to get that done. Can anyone sell in the pre-market? That's a great question. So anyone can sell and trade in the pre-market. It is a little bit more higher risk though. So what I mean with higher risk is you're going against professionals, as well as right now, whenever there's a buyer or seller, there's something called in the background called a market mover. So this market mover helps move the stock up and down regarding towards its buyers and sellers. When you are trading in the after hours or in the pre-market, the market mover is not there. It's all literally negotiations where you go straight for your price that you want, or you don't get out. And it's also not guaranteed of how many shares of yours get traded. So for example, if you have 1,000 shares, you could potentially only sell 500 of it. So what you'll see me do is you'll watch me look at who's trying to buy, who's trying to sell, and then I try to get in regarding towards what they're trying to do. So I'm trying to play them. So you'll just be able to watch that tomorrow morning. Let's see here. But yeah, if you guys haven't, just to get ready. Oh, and then also your broker you have to sign an agreement saying that you are wanting to trade in the pre-market and in after hours. It's also a higher commission fee. It's about half of a penny, which doesn't sound like much, but half of a penny per share. So if you get 1,000 shares, it is $5 on top of your regular commission fee. So that is what it is for me for E-Trade. It depends on what brokers you guys are using. But again, I'm going with AT&T. You guys have a great rest of your day. I'm gonna end the stream here. Thank you for your time. Bye.
Definitely spent a lot of time with our partners and our customers, and I think our conversations